Hi guys, so we're here in Muscle Hut Glasgow, or Muscle Hut Cardonald, and thank you first and foremost to Muscle Hut for letting us film in here. As you can see, and as you will see, very well kitted out gym, pieces from all different brands, which is obviously a good sign of a good gym, so I'm dead excited to train here, because I was here for the open day, I think it was about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and I didn't have the opportunity to train here, so also I'm on the wall, so kind of have to feel obligated to train here as well, so. But no, excited to do a wee bit of push today. So chest dominant push, we're still going to do a wee bit of shoulders as well as we usually do. Usually we're going to do maybe 4 chest movements, 2 delt isolation, and then some biceps as well. So anyone who's kind of been following the channel, been following the Instagram, knows that I've been training relatively intuitively the past, I don't know, must be going on 2.5 months now. Basically, I was just sick of following our training plan. Coming into the gym, do the same thing, trying to beat a rep, trying to beat half a rep. I was just kind of done with that. Not to mention having a lot of like niggles and pains as well. So we moved to the kind of higher volume setup. So rather than doing 1 all-out set to failure or 2 all-out sets to failure, as in a work and back off, we'll maybe do just say 3 sets, the same weight, maybe 8 to 12 reps, 12, 15 reps, try to get as much blood in there as we can. Drops, rests, clusters, all that good stuff. So. And off the back of doing that, we noticed, and well, I noticed in my physique, I noticed in Chris's physique, everything just looks a little bit rounder and fuller, a little more shape to it. Where I think with my physique, I have the size and the muscle there, but I don't necessarily have that kind of bubbliness. But I feel like this style of training, a bit more intuitive training, just going off my feel, going off the pump, is benefiting me right now. There will come a time where I go back to what we were doing before. So number one, even though I kind of got sick of it, I still enjoy training like that. So it's nice to kind of move, have this gradual flow of methods and methodologies throughout your training and not just sticking to the one system. So I think it's pretty clear from what I've done volume-wise recently is evidence of that. So yeah, like I said, we'll just play it by ear. If I do, just say I sit on the pec deck today, I may think, right, I'm just doing 1 all-out set, or I may do 3, may do 4, may do a drop, I don't know. I'll just go off how I feel. So it's maybe a couple of years ago that I put a bit of fear of God in me coming to the gym, not knowing what I'm doing. But as long as I've got a particular system and a setup, so I know I always start with an isolation exercise and then two compounds, whether that's a machine or a free weight, and then move into another isolation. So always kind of follow that system. And it's just a case of what do I do weight-wise, volume-wise, intensifier-wise, as we go each session. That's the difference there. So, but I kind of had a quick look at what I want to do. There's a few Atlantis machines I want to use because I know they're quite good. And then, yeah, see what happens. Cheers, guys. Are you guys using the pet deck? No. Good start. Like I said, just going off the pump and the feel, so I can get as much blood in as I can with this. This is quite nice, the way that kind of, it's a bit lighter at the bottom compared to the prime one. But no, it's nice. Yeah, kind of just building up to where I feel I want to work weight-wise, and then going from there. So, set of 12, get a feel. Set of 8, get a feel, and then going to this. This is probably going to be enough for the first set. See where the reps land. Again, just gauging it from the pump rather than the kind of logbook or trying to push for as much strength as possible. So if I need to up it, I'll up it. If I need to lower it, I'll lower it. So. I usually find with pet decks that the kind of aggravates the top of my forearm. Well, this one seems okay. That's how I kind of base it. I don't base it off how good it is with the chest. I base it off how bad my injuries are on a certain machine, so this feels alright. I find the prime one at Future is good as well if I have it set on number 2 with the torque. But any other setting, I kind of feel all through the forearm. So, and the hammer strength one is all forearm for me as well. So, but no, it feels quite nice. So yeah, up by 2. Just keep the rest period slightly shorter. Oh. See the pump's pretty fantastic just now. It's pre-hair transplant as well. Can you not use one that's after 2022? No, still cool to have that on the wall. Not only that, I don't think my diet face was ever that bad. Got blonde highlights as well. Yeah, same thing here, so just gonna do the usual 6-4-1 and then just decide what I'm doing from that point. With this piece before, I've done your kind of usual working one back off, so I'm used to that on this bit of kit. Just see how the 6-4-1 feels and then decide what I'm doing from that. It's far too light. So it was a case when when I was in Spain, there was a gym like this where it was all blackout, 35 degrees outside. I'm always wondering, how the fuck are people not sweating their tits off? Like, I'm dying, I've done one exercise. It's a big bag of water. Yeah, I'll go with that. Right, so again, just going off the feel, so 5 plates, and we'll do that just for hopefully an 8. We'll see. Yeah, to failure. So. Right. Just a back off, yep. Okay. So I like this bit of kit. So last time I used this, it was the pin loaded version though, rather than the plate loaded. So again, just see how it goes. I've done 6 reps with 2 sides, and that was pretty easy. And so that's 4 sides. See how it goes. The quality of the contraction on that, the squeeze at the top. So this may be a 2-3 setter with the same weight. Just see how it goes. So usually, if it's the same weight, I get this question from a few clients that I kind of program this style of training in, is that if it's like the same weight, then you're probably not hitting failure in that first one. And if you are, it's on the very end of the rep range. So if it's 8 to 12, it'd be like 11, 12. And then the second set, you're probably failing. Well, you're definitely failing, but that could be at the 8 mark, maybe less than that. So that's how you kind of program 2 working sets of the same weight. And if you do that second set, or you do that first set, you think, right, this is maybe a bit too light, then maybe think about putting in a third, again, just to kind of fill up the chest and that. So it's worked for decades. It's not like it doesn't work now. I'm gonna bring a fucking fan with me next time I train here. Fucking hell. Yep. Yep. Oh. 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 So I got 10 there. Yeah, I'll probably go just a smidge lighter then for a second. So technically I back off. So I checked in on Saturday, sitting at 282.6. And I'm really chuffed with the composition that I have over 280. Like, I've never had full abs at 280. I've never had quad feathering, hamstring separation at 280 plus. So that's a huge bonus from this off season. The weight has been staying around 285, but I had to move my days around last week and only got 3 sessions in prior to the check-in. So it just shows you how a session, even though it's back, it can still kind of throw off that kind of water balance, inflammation, all that as well. So always feel that post session, regardless of what I'm training, I tend to hold just that, hold that a little bit less when it's a non-training day. So I don't think that made any sense at all, but hold less weight after a non-training day. Still on track to be where I want to be mid-October before we start pulling the PEDs out. Give myself a bit of a break up until the new year, and then the first Monday of the new year is the 4th of January. So just go from there, see what happens. Fuck it, I'll do a third. So yeah, same thing. I feel like I can do a third one, so I'll do a third one. But again, like when we done legs on Tuesday, that was one working set for each exercise. And that was just called on the day by how we both felt, so it's kind of what we're doing. It's hard giving an insight into what I'm doing, other than just saying, right, I've done a set, I feel like I can do another one, so I'll do another one. So ooh, that's nice. So just finish off that fly movement. So like I said at the start, even though I'm training intuitively, there's still the structure still remains. So isolation, compound, isolation. So we use this Panata fly. I've never used this before. 2, maybe 3 sets, just the usual 12-15. Just get as much blood in as we can. So again, kind of going off knowing how much my chest has got left, so I know there's definitely kind of one set left in there. That takes time. So guys who are kind of new to training, that'll take a few years for you to figure out what your body is kind of capable of doing in the session itself. So I know guys up here that do like 15, 20 sets for chest. I can never get away with that. So we've done what? 2, 3, 7. There'll be 9 sets in total. So, and my chest is toast. You know, you've seen on the channel before that I've done kind of wild stuff with Chris. How does it sound right? But I've done wild training stuff with Chris. And once you've been at a certain level of intensity, you know how to take your body to a certain place. You can do, call it lesser intense stuff, but know when the chest or the body part is done off doing that kind of lower intensity stuff. So for instance, we're doing one working set to failure and it's like 3 exercises, so 3 sets in total. If I'm destroyed from that, then I know how my chest feels once that's destroyed doing that level of training. And the same goes for if I kind of push the volume up a wee bit. I kind of know that I've maybe only got one more exercise or one more set left to do, so. So basically, any kind of rear delt stuff, always keep it 15 to 20. That's for me. 15 to 20 so that I can just get as much blood in as we can, because not only, well, everyone's rear delt is relatively small compared to the rest of you. Well, I feel mine's even smaller, so I have to be very precise and flush as much blood in there as I possibly can. In order to do that, I need to keep it like 15 to 20. Anything lower than that, and I've not quite got the blood flow or the pump that I want. It's taken me years to figure out how to train my rear delts, so like if you're doing anything, again, there's nothing inherently wrong or 100% right. It's obviously very person dependent, but I find that if you're to do anything less than 10 for rear delts, I don't think you're hitting your rear delts properly, so. Just gonna do cable sides here, single arm cable sides. Nothing fancy. I'm trying to do these like with I usually do them with everything with kind of hook grip, but put my thumb underneath last time and just kind of feels a little bit different. It's tiny wee things like that, and they do make a huge difference. So everyone's like, oh, what? Put your thumb underneath the handle, like, oh, well done. But when you've been doing thumbless for 15 plus years, these things do make things feel different. Another thing as well with these that I got from Greg Taylor is to imagine you're dragging the weight. You're kind of dragging it away from you rather than heaving it. Again, anything I can do to connect with the side delt is of massive advantage to me, because like I said at the start there, I'm not the most round and shaped through the shoulders, other than when I'm quite lean, which I'm definitely not just now. But so anything I can do to even get that 1% when it comes to how my shoulders look, I'm going to try it. So like I said, a drag rather than a lift. So just probably 3 or 4 sets of easy bar curl and then maybe a drop at the end. Again, I'm not trying to loaf it pure high, I'm just trying to keep it in that range there, probably before the elbow starts moving, or just after. Nothing too wild range wise. I just like keeping it on the bi a little bit more in that position. So I start going like that, even though the shoulders aren't the strongest body part, they do take over if the elbow starts to move, and I kind of feel hitting the front delt rather than the bicep itself. So. Oh, fuck. Oh, I got heavy quickly. Fuck it up. One. Two. Oh. Oh. Ah, fuck off. 2-3 sets of concentration curls, like prison style training. Been doing this for a while, just no reason, just kind of like the way they feel at the top. Definitely don't need a lot of weight either. I used to be able to train like biceps for days. So obviously speaking about what I was saying earlier about chest, the guys being able to do like 15, 20 sets for chest. I used to be able to do that for biceps and arms, but I mean that's what, three with a drop, 2 and 2. So again, 7 sets for biceps, but if it's getting the job done, it's getting the job done. Again, I'll go back to what I was saying, but you kind of know, once you kind of gain that knowledge of your body, you kind of know when things are done. And you don't need to overcook them with extra work if it's not needed. So I think Chris Aceto said, like, obviously not quoted word for word, but along the lines of, if you come in and you train and you genuinely feel there's nothing left, leave. So if that's 1 set or 100 sets, it's all just dependent of how you feel during the session. So like I said, last Tuesday we had done legs. That was only five working sets, whereas the previous week or 2 weeks before that we had done like 15, 16 sets for legs. So just like in that variance. I guess so that wraps up the intuitive push session in Muscle Hut Glasgow. So as you saw, I kind of had a broad idea of what I wanted to do and kind of followed the kind of same kind of structure and got on a machine, see what it felt, see what the warm-ups felt. Like with the pec deck done, what was that, 3 with a drop, and then 2 for the 2 compound movements, and then 2 for the last fly, and the kind of same kind of isolation shoulder stuff we do. So again, fluctuation volume is coming in, going off how we feel. So even though there's so much merit to the logbook and incremental loading and whatnot each week, I've done it for years, it 1000% works. It's one of those ones where the logbook keeps, especially beginners, intermediates, accountable to their own training. Whereas when you get to a certain level of development, you get a certain level of training, you don't need that logbook to know if you're training hard or not, or to know that you need to push a wee bit more. And especially if you've got a training partner, which I don't today, obviously, but 9 times out of 10 I have Chris. Chris would always let me know if the session's slacking, if I'm slacking, if there was a rep there that I could have taken. But like I said, when you get to that level of knowledge, you know how to work through the session and how to apply different intensifiers, how to move your volume up and down and whatnot according to the session, rather than following a set 1, 2, 3 XYZ plan. So again, that takes time. It does take time. I've done it on and off throughout my career. I would say most of my training throughout the 17 years I've been training, I would say probably up to about 70% has been done via a logbook and a training program. So, you know, it's as much as I love that style, I needed a break. So I kind of an example today of said training. So anyway, guys, remember to like, subscribe, follow, and follow me on Instagram and all that other good stuff. Cheers, guys.